Hello my dear YouTube friends, how are you doing? I hope you're well. So today is Saturday, May 6th, which is my husband's birthday. He's turning 44 today. So if you're watching this, happy birthday, love. Yeah, and today is Fairy Tale Day, as every Saturday. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Mia. I live in Denmark. And yeah, I hope you'll consider subscribing. There is a subscribe button right down there, and next to it there is a bell. Ding that, choose all, and you'll be notified whenever I put up a new video. And to all of you who's coming back, hi, I'm so glad you're here. I love whenever my friends are watching my videos. So yeah, if you're back, you know that I like to read a story, and then I would like for you to think about the morale of the story and what it makes you think afterwards. The story of today is a little short one, which is also okay, right? Then it is over very soon and you can move on in your Saturday life. So yeah, I hope you will like it. As always, I'm gonna look down because it's on my phone. So enjoy. The story is called Children's Prattle. At a rich merchant's house there was a children's party, and the children of rich and great people were there. The merchant was a learned man, for his father had sent him to college, and he had passed his examination. His father had been at first only a cattle dealer, but always honest and industrious, so that he had made money, and his son, the merchant, had managed to increase his store. Clever as he was, he had also a heart, but there was less said of his heart than of his money. All descriptions of people visited at the merchant's house were well-born as well as intellectual, and some who possessed neither of these recommendations. Now, it was a children's party, and there was children's prattle, which always is spoken freely from the heart. Among them was a beautiful little girl who was terribly proud, but this has been taught to her by her servants and not by her parents, who were far too sensible people. Her father was groom of the chambers, which is a high office at court, and she knew it. "I am a child of the court," she said. Now she might just as well have been a child of the cellar, for no one can help his birth. And then she told the other children that she was well-born, and said that no one who was not well-born could rise in the world. It was of no use to read and be industrious, for if a person was not well-born, he could never achieve anything. And those whose name end with "sen," she said, can never be anything at all. We must put our arms akimbo and make the elbows quite pointed, so as to keep these sen people at a great distance. And then she stuck out her pretty little arms and made the elbows quite pointed to show how it was to be done. And her little arms was just very pretty, for she was a sweet-looking girl. But the little daughter of the merchant became very angry at this speech, for her father's name was Petersen, and she knew that name ended in sen, and therefore she said as proudly as she could, "But my papa can buy $100 worth of bonbons and give them away to children. Can your papa do that?" "Yes, and my papa," said the little daughter of the editor of the paper, "my papa can put your papa and everybody's papa into the newspaper. All sorts of people are afraid of him, my mamma says, for he can do as he likes with the paper." And the little maiden looked exceedingly proud, as if she had been a real princess who may be expected to look proud. But outside the door, which stood ajar, was a poor boy peeping through the crack of the door. He was of such a low station that he had not been allowed even to enter the room. He had been turning the spit for the cook, and she had given him permission to stand behind the door and peep in at the well-dressed children, who were having such a merry time within, and for him that was a great deal. "Oh, if I could be one of them," thought he, and then he heard what was said about names, which was quite enough to make him more unhappy. His parents at home had not even a penny to spare to buy a newspaper, much less could they write in one, and worse than all, his father's name, and of course his own, ended in sen, and therefore he could never turn out well. which was a very sad thought. But after all, he had been born into the world, and the station of life had been chosen for him. Therefore, he must be content. And this is what happened on that evening. Many years passed, and most of the children became grown-up persons. There stood a splendid house in the town, filled with all kinds of beautiful and valuable objects. Everybody wished to see it, and people even came in from the country road to be permitted to view the treasures it contained. Which of the children whose prattle we have described could call this house his own? One would suppose it very easy to guess. No, it is not that easy. The house belonged to the poor little boy who had stood on that night behind the door. He had really become something great, although his name ended in sen, for it was Thorvaldsen. And the 3 other children, the children of good birth of money and of intellectual pride, well, they were respected and honored in the world, for they had all been well provided for by birth and position, and they had no cause to reproach themselves with what they had thought and spoken on that evening long ago, for, after all, it was a mere children's prattle. The end. I don't know if you know who Thorvaldsen is, but he is a famous sculptor whose work was known, well, at least all over the most of Europe. I don't know if he was famous in America and other countries, but you can look him up. His name is Prattle Thorvaldsen, and yeah, he was friends with Hans Christian Andersen, actually. So if you want to know more, Google. But yeah, what do you think of the story? I mean, I like the morale of it. That just because you're born poor doesn't mean that you can't, make something of yourself. Money and fame isn't all. So yeah, that is it for today. Please don't forget to give my video a thumbs up. And like I said in the beginning, if you aren't subscribed, please consider doing so. I would really appreciate it. I am trying to get to 350 subscribers. And when I get that, I'll have a surprise for you all. So please share this channel and this video with people you know, if they like my content. That would be so great. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video, which will be a Women Chat on Tuesdays, an unboxing on Fridays, this fairy tales on Saturdays, and then on Sundays I have my lives, which is always a lot of fun. We are, I don't know, about 15 people there usually, so it is relaxed and everybody get a say. And it isn't me that controls the subject, it is you guys. So yeah, I hope you will join me tomorrow in my live. And until next time, bye everybody, love you, bye.